Okay, I really do think the Cleveland Browns found something. I know that everybody's disappointed, that everybody wanted a victory against the Rams. I know that it's an away game that sometimes feels like a home game when you play against the Rams. But I don't want you to be discouraged as a Cleveland Browns fan. And in this video, we are going to lay out exactly why there is still plenty of hope for a playoff berth for these Cleveland Browns. We're still going to do it, all right? But before we do that, just want to make sure if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, we do a ton of Browns content. We honestly love covering teams in the NFL that the national media kind of ignores, the small media market teams. And so that's what we want to cover. That's what we want to do here. So if that's what you're all about, please hit that like, hit that subscribe button. But let's, without further ado, kind of talk about the Browns, okay? And we start, I always love looking at box scores. I love it. I think you can tell so much by a box score on why a team won or lost. And here's what you can see in this game. Here's what you can very clearly see in this game, all right? The box score wasn't that lopsided, all right? The score was lopsided. The box score wasn't. There was a timely interception by Joe Flacco, all right? And no, not Footsteps Falco, all right, from the replacements, but Joe Flacco, all right? I don't know. I was thinking about doing a whole, like, riff on a joke on that, but I decided against it. But you got Joe Flacco and Stafford were kind of duking it out a little bit. Stafford was more efficient. And they had a lead back that had more yards. Like, that's the big difference. But the biggest difference in this game was simple. Big plays. And Amari Cooper left this game somewhat early enough, all right, where the big playability wasn't there. I believe that this was a tie game when Cooper was out, when he had to leave. So Puka Nacua made a couple of big plays. Demarcus Robinson made a couple of big plays. And that is the difference in this game. So that's not necessarily the good news. The good news comes in the form of you found your quarterback. And then I have more when it comes to the standings as well. But I just want to give you a little bit of look at the numbers. Overall, he had a PFF rating of 61.5 and a passing rating of 60. If he doesn't throw that interception, and I know he did, all right, he's around 70. All right, just so you know, for reference, all right, overall, Deshaun Watson this year has a player grade of 67.3 with a pass rating of 66. That's a guy who is seasoned in this offense in year 2, all right, and Joe Flacco's coming in, being with the team for like a couple weeks, and he comes out there and has an overall of 61.5 and a passer rating of 61. All right. DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, who I was all about in the preseason for you guys, and I do still think he will be a good backup quarterback in the NFL, and he will end up being a good option for this team when Watson is injured in the future. He has an overall grade of 49, a passing grade of 49, a rushing grade of 55. Like, it wasn't great. So what you guys were able to do was you are able to now replace what is you were winning with bad quarterback play. You were able to win with bad quarterback play. And now you are going to have mediocre quarterback play with Joe Flacco. I'm not saying he's a top 10 quarterback, but he could be a top 20 if he keeps playing well. Get Amari Cooper healthy. Like, things could absolutely be looking up for the Browns. Like, there's no doubt in my mind about that. There's no doubt in my mind about that. So, yeah, I think you should be excited. And then I look at your, the remaining schedule and what you have going on here. You've got Jacksonville. They're injured. All right. I know that we hate saying that because we cover the Jags on this channel too. But Trevor Lawrence, I don't know how he's going to be back. I don't know. That looked awful. Christian Kirk with the groin, I don't know how he's going to be back. And then you have Chicago. This is a team that's looking 9-5, dead in the face. Then you go to Houston. That's tough. You have the Jets, 11-6 going, or I'm sorry, 11-5. What is it? 10-5 going into the final week against the Cincinnati Bengals for a chance to go 11-6. You're telling me 11-6 isn't going to make the playoffs right now? And here's the thing about the playoffs. Based on where you're at right now, you're in. So if you can go 4-1 down the stretch, just based on teams you're playing against and other things like that, the schedule lines up nice for you. All right? There's a good chance that you're going to be just fine. You see this team right here in the 5th spot? Hey, you're going to love to hear me say this, and I've said this before. They're not real. The Steelers are not real. All right? They're not good, and they're starting to show that they're not good. The difference between the Steelers and Browns is that the Browns have a better defense and a better offense. The Steelers are inept on offense. They are inept, and now Pickett's out. I don't know how long. All right? Their defense is good, but it doesn't have the playmaking ability that the Browns has. It just flat out doesn't. The Cleveland Browns right now have the 7th-ranked defense in the NFL. They do. And that's after giving up a bunch of points to the Rams. That is not what the Browns' defense has been. Up until this week against the Rams, who are really red hot, to be honest with you, everybody was saying this is the best defense in the NFL. And I agree. Get Myles Garrett fully healthy, get that shoulder right a little bit, and this is a team that could absolutely make a continued run at it. Do I think they're going to win the division? No, I don't. I'm not going to lie to you when it comes to that. But I will bring you back to this playoff race again. All right? Backup quarterback. I know you have a backup quarterback too. Colts, backup quarterback. I just did a video about the Colts. Go watch it, about how I think they are in a good spot to be able to make the playoffs as well. I think the Steelers drop out of this. I think they're out. And I think either the Texans or the Bills move in. I just think that's how it goes. The problem with the Bills is that they're not winning with the tiebreakers right now. They're not winning with the tiebreakers. They're just not. And then when you look at other things and you have to look at standings and things like that, you have to look at conference standings when you don't have head-to-head tiebreaks or when there's multiple teams. The Browns are 5-3. Those other teams that they're competing with, the Texans are 4-3, the Bills are 3-5. All right? The Broncos are 3-5. So you have set yourself up in a position when it comes to if you have multiple teams sitting there at 10-7 or 11-6, you have tiebreakers over the Broncos. You have the tiebreaker over the Bengals. You've got, at least for now, and you can go beat them and make it even more clear. All right? You've got the tiebreaker over the Texans right now. So you don't even necessarily have to have a better record. You just have to have an equal record, and you have a 1-game head start. So essentially, with the way the tiebreaker goes, you have a 2-game lead. So yes, I understand that this season has seemed awful as a Browns fan. There's been injuries. It's like you just never seem to be able to get your wheels fully going. But when you stop and you look back at it, guess what? You're in the playoffs if they started today, and you're in good position to be in the playoffs when it ends. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.